start rolling and getting this started. So I wanted to do a quick introduction. My name is Louis Guido. I'm the business manager for Control Product Systems Groups relating to door products, both commercial and residential. Do appreciate everybody taking the moment to get onto this webinar today. We've got a lot of really got a really cool product line that's been introduced into the marketplace just a few years ago, and starting to take some good market share. It's a really good product solution for sheet door operators. On the line, we have James Walsh. He is the Western Region Sales Manager. And yeah, James, if you want to go ahead and get started here and show us what is automatic technology and the different options and the operators that we got from your line.
Hey, good morning, Louis. My name is, everybody on the line, my name is James Walls. I'm the Western Region Account Manager. Also on the line with us today is Michael Vanstone. He is listening in right now. He is our Commercial Development Manager. He's in charge of helping with new product development and new product introduction. So we are an Australian company, and we've been in business for over 35 years now. And our market is divided like this. There is a company called Dulux Paint and Coatings. It's a huge international conglomerate, and they own a company called the B&D Group. And the B&D Group is our door manufacturing center. And they own us. We are the operator piece of the equation. We do the R&D, we design, we market, and we sell the operator end of the business, where the B&D Group back in Australia manufactures the doors. And we're actually the largest door manufacturer in both Australia and New Zealand. So we've been out here in the United States for about 6 years, and we export our product all over the world. We've had a footprint in the United States now for 6 years. We have positions in Europe, Asia, Canada, the Middle East, and South America, and South Africa. Our corporate office is in Dallas, and we have a manufacturing center in both Moreno Valley, Los Angeles, and one on the East Coast on Atlanta, Georgia. So our operators are designed for the roll-up sheet doors, and they're designed specifically for the rolling sheet doors. So they're very easy, and they will not damage your doors. All of our operators are UL approved, and they're approved for use for both residential and commercial applications. It replaces the need for chain hoist. So everything is fully automatic, and you do not need a chain hoist. Makes life easy. Out of the box, they're ready to be installed on the right-hand side. Change direction, they can be installed on the right or the left-hand side. These operators are for both new and existing doors. So if you're going to install a brand new door, the operator can be actually attached to the door before you even put the door up, because it slides directly over the axle into the drum wheel. On a retrofit door, it's very simple install too. You basically take the axle off the bracket, you put our operator, you run it through the axle, right into the drum wheel, put the axle back to the bracket, attach it, plug and play, and you're ready to go. If you look at the top part of this slide right here, you're going to see the high roller on the left side, and you're going to see the easy roller in the middle. Both those operators, as accessories, have battery backup. And our battery backup is good for 6 cycles. So 1 cycle, meaning open and shut. When you get the box, our operators come with the operator, the LED courtesy light, and I'll show you a little bit later. You're going to get 2 tri-code 128 remote controls. You're going to get a wireless wall button. You're going to get 2 safety beams, and then you're going to get the individual fittings for the Janus, the DBCI, and the Porvine doors. Okay, so our roll-up sheet doors, they're specifically designed and manufactured for the roll-up sheet doors. We have 3 models. If you look at the top left, you've got the Hyro model. That's our most powerful. If you look in the middle, you have the Easy Roller 14 model. That's our most sold. We have the largest amount of applications with size doors for that model. And on the right-hand side, we have the Shed Master, which is a niche product and a weather-resistant model. Next slide, please. This is our most used application. It's our Easy Roller 14. This one goes up to 14 feet in height on a 12-inch drum wheel. It goes up to 12 feet in height on a 9-inch drum wheel. It covers 180 square feet. So a 12 by 14, once you hit a 14 by 14, you're going to want to go to our next operator, which is the Hyro. But it's good for 10 by 12, 11 by 12, 12 by 12, 12 by 14. So our Easy Roller 14 basically has a 600 amp DC motor, and it comes with all the product in the box. And regarding the accessories, it comes with the operator. You can see that plastic piece leaning down on the bottom of the operator where the programming is. That's where the LED courtesy light is. You can see the wireless wall button up there at the top and the 2 Tricode 128 remote controls. It will also come with the safety beams, and it will also come with the Janus fittings. You're also going to get right hand or left hand installation. It programs like a residential opener. All of our products are UL approved for both residential and commercial. And if you look at the very top of the door on the right-hand side and on the left-hand side of both those doors, you'll see how our operator lays right directly into the drum wheel, so it doesn't take up a lot of space. All of our circuitry and intelligence is inside the operator, so it doesn't hang down and get into the way. It's very quiet. It's a single person install. Once you've installed 2 or 3 of these operators, it takes you about 30 minutes to install an operator. It's basically plug and play. And I'll reiterate again that actually this operator can go on a brand new door before you even put the door up, or on a retrofit. You're just basically going to take that axle off the bracket, slide our operator directly into the drum wheel, put the axle back to the bracket. Basically, you're done. It's plug and play. It's that easy. Next slide, Lewis.
You there?
We have Hero big door powerful motor. Is that where we're at?
We are.
Okay. This is our Hero operator. This actually is a very strong operator. It's been tested by one of our distributors, Porvine, which is located in Sacramento, California, and Southern California, Moreno Valley. And they actually tested this operator on their 300 series slat door, not a sheet door. And they actually brought the operator up to 20 feet in height. We will not warranty it at 20 feet. We will warranty it at 18 feet. Those are the specs. It actually covers 300 square feet. It's a 236 wind lock in square feet, 18 feet high. And if you look right there where it says smartphone control kit, we have a wireless hub called the AutoKey smartphone control kit. And that one wireless hub, when attached to the operator, will actually control 16 operators globally, nationally, regionally, or locally. So if you have a large client that wants to communicate with multiple operators on multiple warehouses, this operator with this wireless HUD will allow you to do so. Next slide, Lewis.
Yep.
We see the Shedmaster.
We're there.
Perfect. This is our weather resistant application. It's a niche product. This application will go up to 165 square feet. It'll go 12 feet in height off a 12-inch drum, and it will go 8 feet in height off a 9-inch drum. This application here has been tested twice with a 15-minute test and a 10-minute test, where we took and sprayed it with a garden hose and splashed it in different ways to where we tested it for water efficiency. It has an IP rating of 24. It's the only operator with an IP rating of 24. So basically, it's good for 3 applications: under a carport, a back perimeter door that does not get a lot of weather, or a boat shed. And it has a key card lockout, a key card electronic lockout, and a front panel lockout, so you cannot reach over the fence and grab the cord and pull down and steal somebody's boat. Now, if you keep this thing outside 24/7 in the weather, you have to make a cover for it and protect the operator. So basically, it's for those 3 specific applications. Under a carport is good, back perimeter door is good, and a boat shed is good. Next slide, Lewis.
Just to make a talking point right here, I want to make sure that the everybody on this understands, where the shed master comes in. And when we talk about it needing a cover, we're not talking about like a totally enclosed, having to fabricate on and actually, completely keep it separate from the elements. But as long as it's got an awning or it's got some sort of, wind
Correct.
and rain-driven protection, it's going to be just fine for outdoor and inclement weather and stuff like that, correct?
Correct. That is correct.
Okay. Yeah. Go on to the
Yeah,
next.
like if it's under a carport, that's the protection. On a back perimeter door that just doesn't get a lot of attention, it'll work there. On a boat shed, it's good there.
Perfect.
Next slide.
Sure. You're on it.
Okay. So our Easy Roller 14, it's a compact design. It's plug and play. It slides directly into the drum wheel. All of our operators have soft start and soft close. So at the beginning and the end of each cycle, the operator ramps up speed, and this relieves the stress on the operator. We have all of our operators have intelligent safety system, meaning the garage door comes down and it hits a person or it hits a product, it stops immediately and it reverses. We have optional battery backup on both the Hyro and the Easy Roller 14. That's an accessory, and each one of those battery backups is good for 6 cycles, a cycle being 1 open and 1 close. We have universal handiness. We have right-hand side installation, although you can install our operators on the left side as well. We have ratchet 1 action disengage. The operator programs like a residential. Everything is UL approved. And then we have alternative live axle conversion available as well, which I'll get into a little bit later. Remote setting, and we have cloning remote technology. Next slide.
Just why I know we kind of talked about it for a second, or you mentioned the battery backup, but for those that may be on the call in the California markets, that is all fully compatible with the statutes out there, right?
That is correct.
Perfect. Just want to make sure. Cool. We're on the next slide.
Okay, come back. We can skip this slide because that applies to everything I just stated. Applies to the Hero, it applies to the Easy Roller 14, and it applies to the Shedmaster as well. Then we can skip the Shedmaster slide. So let me ask: are there any? One last thing I want to cover here before we move on, and that is our safety eyes. Inside the package, you're going to get 2 safety eyes, and you're going to have to drape one of the safety eyes over the left hand, depending on what side of the operator, the door you're going to install the operator on, you have to drape the safety eye over the top of the operator to the other side. Okay? So you got to be careful this wire. So when you're stapling the wire, you got to be careful because you do not want to go through the wire. That would be A. The safety eyes, they have to be set up about 5.5, 6 inches from the bottom of the rails, and they have to align perfectly. So one safety eye has a green light and one safety eye has a red light. If those lights are not on, then it's not aligned perfectly and you can't program the door and the operator will not work. I just want to make that perfectly clear because that's imperative that everybody knows that. The other thing I want to backtrack on was the Easy Roller 14, and that when that is put up on a 12-inch drum wheel, the height will go up to 14 feet. If it's not on a 12-inch drum wheel and it's on a 9-inch drum wheel, the height will only hit 12 feet. So I have gotten some calls in the past by individuals who buy the doors and the installer comes on out and then they install the Easy Roller 14 on a 9-inch drum and they call me and they say, it's not going up to 14 feet. It won't go up to 14 feet on a 9-inch drum. You have to have a 12-inch drum wheel to hit 14 feet with that easy roll of 14. I just wanted to cover that too, because that's important. Are there any questions at this point, Lewis?
Let's take a look at it. I don't see anything in the chat at this point. Let me look one other spot. We got a couple. I don't see anything showing right now, so we'll go ahead and keep going at this point.
Okay. We'll go to the next slide.
Optional accessories.
Yeah. So if you look at the top left, you're going to see the battery backup for the Easy Roller 14. And that's like a harness which connects directly inside the operator through 2 wires for that battery backup. And then if you look at the bottom one, that's the Hero that snaps directly into the back of the Hero. If you look to the next picture right there, you're going to see what our wireless you're going to see our Tri-Code 128s down there on the bottom, and you're going to see our wireless door pads right there at the top. And then you're going to see what the safety beams look like. If you go over to the far right, you're going to see the smartphone control system. That's the key. That is the key smartphone control kit right there to the right, that wireless hub with the antenna sticking up. And then the phone application is very easy to set up. Basically, you're going to get inside the box, you're going to get a little, you'll get a piece of paper that you got to look for. It's got 8 digits on it. And you're going to need those 8 digits to set up the application in the phone. By chance, if you lose those 8 digits on the front panel of the Hero, there's one screw there. You just take off that plastic piece and you have the 8 digits right there as well. Also, you can take a photo of the barcode, and that would get you directly to the app. And the barcode is inside that same space. That'll take you directly to the app, and you can set it up that way if you choose to go that direction. At the bottom, that's what our wireless keypad looks like. And that's just what some of the accessories look like. The Tri-Code 128 remotes up there at the top, those come with the package, and the wireless wall button comes with the package as well. Next slide.
Got it.
Let's skip that and go to the third slide with the green fittings on it.
Sure.
A Hyro drum adapter.
You're on it.
Okay, these adapters right there that are in green, they're going to actually be in black. But you can see how the adapters slide directly into the drum wheel, and that's what fits into the operator, and those are what fit into the drum wheel when you slide the operator directly into the drum wheel. Once you put these inside the drum wheel, you can see on the next picture in the middle there that there are screws. You're going to tighten those fittings into the drum wheel. Into the operator, and then you're going to slide the operator with these fittings directly into the drum wheel on the last picture. And that's what it looks like. These fat fittings at the top up there, those are the ones used for the Porvine door. When you go down to the next bottom right there where it says include adapters for Janus sheet doors, that's what the Janus adapters look like. So depending on the size of the drum wheel and depending on the manufacturer of the door will depend on which fittings go into the drum wheel.
So
Any questions?
So on this one, James, just so that everybody understands, packaged on the Hyro operator, it's going to have both adapters in the box ready to go.
That is correct.
Yeah,
that is correct.
Yeah, it's not an accessory that you have to get, whether it's Porvine or if it's Janus. You just have to make sure that you're using the right adapter that's included.
That is correct. Inside the box, you'll get the operator. You're going to get all your accessories. You'll get the operator with the LED courtesy light. You'll get all your accessories. You'll get a metal weight, which is placed in the middle of the door to balance when setting the limits. And you'll get all these fittings as well. Those are part of the accessories. Any questions?
We'll go ahead and keep going.
One other point I wanted to make too, that when we'll go to the next slide. Let's go to the next slide. A live axle. This is our axle extension kit. We have mini door extension kits, and basically what this does is on a mini door, if the axle isn't long enough to reach the bracket, our mini door extension is about 12 inches. So basically that 12 inches, that pipe that you'll get will fit directly over the axle. So it will actually slide directly over the axle, and that will give you an additional 7 to 8 inches of axle if necessary. Make sense?
So,
Louis?
I think we're good. So just to be clear that this is an actual accessory. So if you do run into one of these, the shafts that is too short or something like that, you would need to get that accessory. So that way we're just making sure that we're clear on what's accessories and what's not.
Mini doors, some metal buildings, the shaft isn't long enough. So you will want to make sure that you get these mini door extension kits, because that'll make sure that the shaft is long enough to fit over the bracket so that you can set it up. Next slide. All of our operators are dead axle, meaning that our operators are attached to the axle, and the axle turns and opens and closes the door. There are some live axles out there, so we also provide live axle kits. So basically that metal piece you can see that's attached to the operator, which is attached to the door. So when the barrel opens the door rather than the axle opens the door, these live axle kits make it so that our operators can be used on a live axle door. TrackRite is one of our clients that Michael works with, and I believe that all their doors are live axle. Make sense?
I think so. We do have one question in the chat that I wanted to go ahead and ask. There was a question from, I think it was Barry, that was wondering if a reversing edge can be incorporated to the operator.
A reversing edge?
Correct.
What exactly does that mean?
Just a bottom edge, like a electronic sensing edge for the bottom of the door for an additional trap and safety.
Hey, Michael, I'm not familiar with that question. Can you the answer to that question? Could you jump
Yeah,
on
you're
that?
talking about like a Miller Edge or something like that.
Correct.
The short answer is yes, but the long answer is you might have to do some extra wiring, like it'll probably need to run on an external power supply. But generally speaking, all of our units work with all universal related GDO accessories. Some things like the LiftMaster wall button, for example, that doesn't work with our operator, but that's because that's designed only for LiftMaster products. But if you find any generic GDO accessories, generally speaking, you can find a way to make it work with either of these operators.
Okay, so they have like okay. We'll follow up on that and make it better after the webinar and make sure if there's additional instructions that we need to incorporate something like that. And I'll mark that down for follow up after the webinar. I think we might have. So, is there any dry contact inputs?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And that's a safety input, or is that a for like a push button, single button control?
Push button, single button control.
Yeah, but no safety input though, right?
There's an auxiliary. We don't really get many people putting light curtains and edges on sheet doors normally.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, typically, as an economical solution, sheet doors aren't typically needing those types of accessories, but it's good to know if, at least we have single button control that we could hook up to it, and we'll follow up a little bit more on the reversing edge, right?
And I think the one of the benefits of the system itself is that it kind of renders a safety edge meaningless, because at about 5 to 8 pounds of pressure, of normal pressure, the operator senses the obstruction and reverses itself. And so it's just, I think one of the reasons why we don't ever see it done is because you're spending extra money and you're really not getting any benefit. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah, I mean, similar to other GDO, Michael, we look at the common residential door operators and the fact that they can't hook electronic sensing edges. But, the fact of the matter is a 1.5 or 2-inch 2x4, it'll reverse on that as, even part of the installation instructions, to test safeties. So it'll bounce off of a 2x4, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Easily.
Yeah. Yeah.
Easily.
And then there was one other question. And yes, I can answer this one. The photo beam, so the photo eyes are included with each operator.
Correct.
I think we're I think we're good to keep going. I think we're caught up on all the questions at this
Yeah,
point.
I'm gonna bring up 2 points here that I want to stress because these are one is imperative and one is something that I did not cover, and that is our operators self-profile. And so every 7 cycles, our operators will self-profile to the tension on the door, line up on the rails, move with the weight of the door. So we're constantly, every 7 cycles, these operators will reprofile everything to make sure that everything is working efficiently. And what's interesting is that if you wander down an alley, and let's say you're snooping around trying to break into somebody's garage or whatever, and there's a sheet door, and our operator happens to be on that door, if you try to pull up on that sheet door, the operator will push back down because it will think that you're trying to reprofile the door. The last thing I want to cover, and this is very important, on any Janus commercial door with a stamp style bracket, which is all their commercial doors, you need to flip the brackets when setting up our operator. So out of the box, you take the left and you put it on the right, and you take the right and you put it on the left. If you don't do that, the operator will not line up appropriately. It won't be flush. It'll lean in towards the bottom, and whether it works or not, it'll fail. So most importantly, on these Janus commercial doors, when installing our operators, you got to flip the bracket left to right and right to left. Any questions?
Yeah, I don't know if there's any questions on that, but I will say there's some really nice videos on the Automatic Technology website. If you're new to sheet doors or maybe a pro, there is still those there are some really helpful videos, and I'm sure you're probably going to mention that in a second. But I think we're good. There might be a couple more questions that we can answer here in a second. We did have one that asked if there is a manual release in case of power or communication failure.
We have that release cord, the red cord on the operator.
Yeah. So all the models do have that, right?
Correct.
Right. Yeah, you can see all the different ones.
Here's something also very important, and that is if you're in a high-level storm alert area where you get a lot of thunderstorms or lightning, or in a hurricane area like we just recently had all along the southeastern coast all the way up to North and South Carolina, I recommend when installing our operators, you get a surge protector, because that will help protect the circuit board inside the operator.
All right. I think we're good and caught up on questions at this point.
And one last thing in regards to the Lewis is having me send out marketing slicks on all 3 of our operators to about 8 different locations. And on the back of that marketing, so everything a lot of the stuff that I've covered today will be on there. The specs are on there. On the very bottom, on the back side, is our warranties. So I just want everyone to be familiar with that. And then we get to that next slide.
I think we're on that slide now.
Need help? Contact.
Yep.
Okay, that's our tech representative is Steve Cole. You can find him at that 1-800 number, 934-9892. Our website is right there. And then we also have an email that you can write off to with a technical question, if it's like super late in the day or on a Sunday afternoon or whatever. It's very simple. It's service automatictechnology.com. So if you hit that email or you dial that number 1-800, you can get technical help.
All right. I know we answered a lot of these questions when we were going through the actual presentation. If there's any additional questions, by all means, please ask the Q&A or throw it into the chat there. But this is an operator that's been in place for several years. I think was it 6 years, James, that this is that been in the States now?
Yeah, in Australia before that, but out here in America, 6 years.
Yeah, and so this is a proven product that's been in the marketplace for a number of years. It is something that definitely helps with a quicker install, that works, designed for sheet doors. So when you're looking at a Janus door or something like that, and the customer is trying to add an operator to it, this is a really good operator for that use case. Not only from the install perspective, but from the soft start, the slow stop, being able to, still get wireless keypads, still be able to have, push buttons on it, and really, dazzle the customer with a nice, quiet operator that works and doesn't take, half a day to to add an EO kit and all that other kind of stuff that you would typically be looking at doing on sheet door operators. I will say that CPSG is currently getting stock on these operators. So within the next week or so, these will be available for sale if you wanted to order one, just to try and in your warehouse or your building or something like that. We do have stock that's going to be available shortly, as well as being able to get those color cut sheets and stuff like that. On our website, as well as Automatic Technologies website, you can find a lot of videos, cut sheets, literature, all the resources that you need in order to be able to sell this effectively to your customers. And it's all UL rated for residential as well as commercial. And if you are going to be putting it onto a residential in California, you just want to make sure that you get that battery backup accessory. And otherwise, in any cases or any locations geographically, if you do have a lot of power issues or something like that, the battery backup is still a really great accessory to be able to add on. Just a couple of things that I wanted to make clear, or at least help clear up to some other people. When we talk about this in comparison to like heavy duty operators, where are we at on like cycle counts per hour or use counts? I mean, what's the recommendation there, James?
Our operators are good for about, I have clients that use these operators that open them 13, 14 times a day. But I will tell you that generally speaking, I would say between 5 and 10 times a day is what these operators are for.
Okay. And in typical, sheet door fashion, those aren't high cycle doors to begin with. So, if you're in that 5 to 10 cycles per day, this is probably going to be the best fit. Are they all the same cycle count between the Easy Roller and the Hyro and the Shedmaster, or are there some that have higher cycle counts?
No, it's all the same.
Okay. And I think we covered that one. Yep. So after the we conclude this webinar, which I do appreciate everybody taking a moment out of their day to be able to join us. If you have any questions, please reach out to your branch, your sales team, or myself, and we'll make sure that we get those answered. We'll do a follow-up and confirm, wiring and stuff like that. But again, our website, ATA's website, is a really good resource for install videos and technical questions and stuff like that you may have after this.
Would you like Michael to bring you out to the website real quick here?
I can probably do that.
Okay.
Should be sharing it now. So, you can see here that there's a lot of different resources, is what I was talking about with all the how-to videos, everything from setting limits, which is a really easy process, to adding remotes, adding wall buttons, all that kind of stuff is on their website. Everybody can see that, correct? I think we're good.
I think we're still seeing
Both
your
English and
presentation.
Spanish.
Espanol. I wish I spoke better Spanish, but if there is anybody out there, again, it is in Spanish as well, if that is a familiar language. But yeah, this is I'm really excited to help bring the automatic technology lines to more distribution and being able to provide the service that CPSG does. It's a really good partnership, and I'm looking forward to being able to help continue this line through. Yeah, if there's no other questions at this point, or I think we've got, I think we added some of the cycle count type stuff into the chat. Do appreciate that information. I think we'll go ahead, and if there's no other questions at this point in time, we'll go ahead and close this webinar. But we do appreciate everybody being on here. You have any last closing remarks, James, that you wanted to add in there?
Yeah, we, speaking from a company perspective, we are very excited and bringing you on board as a partner, and look forward and helping you guys increase market share with our operators, and we're available to help you in any which way we can.
Yep, it's a good resource to have for sure. Perfect.
Lewis, thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. I hope everybody has a great afternoon, and till the next one.
You don't.
You all.
Bye-bye.